Hello and welcome to an extraordinary episode of Icons of the UAE. Here we embark on a journey through the remarkable stories of those who have inspired plenty in the UAE. Today we meet a visionary leader who is not only handling his family legacy but is also inspiring the future of UAE. From India to England to Dubai, his journey has been beyond phenomenal. A name to reckon with in the world of perfumery. Please welcome Mr. Abdullah Ajmal, CEO of Ajmal Group.
Perfumery business, it's not like you graduate, you come back and you practice. You start at the bottom. Perfumery is in my blood. We originally belong from the land of Oud, Assam. Grandfather started, put in a lot of hard work, took all the trouble, all the risk. My father happens to be the eldest of the second generation. He joined business very early on. My uncle would establish the first store in Dubai in 1976. We were always retailers since we started. The industry calls my father the king of food. The challenge for me, how do I fill those shoes? What do I do and make a presence? I always mirror the growth of Ajmal with the growth of Dubai. And if I want to grow the business and make it global, in 72 years, I say I want to do that in the next 7 years. The question is, why not?
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
So from Mumbai to England to Dubai, please take us through your journey.
I was born in Bombay in a place called Muhammad Ali Road. Alhamdulillah, the luxury that we have at the moment, things were a bit different. I wouldn't say that I was born in a poor family by any standards. I studied in St. Xavier's High School in near Metro Cinema. We moved with the family in 1988. By that time, I'd just finished my SSC. Although we moved at that time, part of the family, my uncle who had established the first store in Dubai was already here in 1976. My grandfather had been coming here for much, much longer than that. So I joined a British school in Dubai. I did a couple of years over there, finished my O-levels, and then I was ready to move to college in UK. Started off in a city in the north of England called Bradford. Wow, that was a cultural shock, by the way, because I was a Bombay boy. Then I was Dubai, so we used to, shops are open till 10 o'clock and everything is available, and weekends there is a lot of hustle and bustle. And this was 1990. I landed up in a place called Bradford where the city centre shut at 5:30. The first 3 months were very difficult. And that's how it kind of started. But very soon I started enjoying the idea of independence. Then I finished a couple of years. It was a program I did, BTech. And I joined an American university but based in London. So I joined the university. I was there. I finished my graduation first. We were always retailers since we started. So I thought to myself that I want to get some experience in retail, So my first job was actually in the back of the store. It was a very popular store in the center of Reading, actually packing the t-shirts and the trousers and the jumpers and putting them back into the plastic cases. So that was my first job. That continued for a good couple of weeks, 3 weeks. Then college started again and I realized that was too much. I stopped, went back to college, finished my courses, and I remember one of my professors used to sarcastically tell us, he was an Indian as it happens, and he said, you Desi feel very entitled because you graduate, you go back home and you become managing director or you become director and this and that. But he said the right way to do it is actually to work somewhere where they don't know you, They treat you like any other employee. And he used a term which I still remember. He said, wear and tear happens at somebody else's cost. And then when you go back, you're a little more wiser. Unfortunately, or fortunately for that matter, because I've been very fortunate, alhamdulillah, my life. I came back and then my journey in Dubai started. I started officially October of '96. So, yeah, that was my journey.
So like your professor mentioned, it's an advantage to join your family business, but I'm sure that there are challenges as well. Anything that you'd like to name?
It's very difficult. A family business is very difficult, especially in the third generation. Because grandfather started, put in a lot of hard work, took all the trouble, all the risk. And you know, we came from a very, very modest family, from a very remote village in Assam called Hojai. My father happens to be the eldest of the second generation. He joined business very early on. None of them actually got a formal education. So my father is very good at the traditional oud part. In fact, I mean, people in the industry call him the king of oud because he really knows oud that well. Alhamdulillah, the business grew. Today, we're not just into perfumery, we have other businesses as well. So first of all, the challenge for a new person like me is, how do I fill those shoes? My father put me under my youngest uncle, who was my mentor. Unfortunately, he passed away, even though we were only 8 years apart. And he was a perfumer. He grew up being in the shops as well. So in the mornings, 1 hour, I would be smelling a certain ingredient for days and days and writing my impressions because it changes over a period of time. In the mornings would be that. Afternoons would be understanding the business, different departments, etc. And evenings would be sitting in the shops. So learning the language, learning the products, pricing, most importantly, interacting with the consumer. So the first 3 to 4 years was that. And literally, I was right at the bottom. So slowly, gradually, new things, new challenges came on board. Looked at export as well. By that time, we started doing travel retail. We are the only local brand which is available in many travel retail destinations, duty frees, onboard airlines. So we're 72 years now.
Wow.
And so the future is bright and it's looking good, inshallah.
That's a fascinating story, but we're going to continue the conversation right here on Icons of the UAE. Time for a short break. Welcome back after the break. This is Icons of the UAE and today we are in conversation with Mr. Abdullah Ajmal. And in this segment, we're going to get to meet the support system of his journey in the company, who is also a director, Mr. Shapur. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, madam, for inviting.
So, sir, what is your association and how it all started?
Well, Mr. Abdullah, I remember seeing him as a kid, and the first interaction was years back. But the good part of the story is once he finished his education and he joined the organization, his father, Mr. Amiruddin Ajmal, approached me and he said, can you do some program for him? So I did a training program for him and I made it and gave it to him. At first, he was a little bit hesitant that, it's such a long program. But over a period of time, he realized that was necessary. The good thing about Mr. Abdullah Ajmal is that he has gone through a very rigorous training which, according to me, no other third generation member has gone through. It took him a period of time, but from the beginning, what I had observed about him was that he has the grace, the style, the leadership quality, which sometimes they say people are born leaders. They are not created. He was one of that person who struck me at that period of time. Today we are talking about him. It's not just praising him just because of the program, but it's a factual situation wherein he had to prove himself quite a lot. He was shifted from department to department. He was settling in, but then again picked up and put somewhere else. So in this rigorous role play, he gained a lot of tremendous experience, which today, sitting at the helm of the operation, he can see very clearly. You see, a lot of people have things on a silver platter or a golden platter, and in today's world, a platinum platter. But he did not have this. So his experience started at the very ground and root level, and that level is very important for any family member to go to. It is a right thing to do for a family-run organization. Sometimes I sit with him and talk him as a fatherly figure. Sometimes I sit with him and talk him as his own associate. Sometimes I sit with him and talk him as a junior today. But the rapport which we enjoy today, taking into consideration my years of experience and his years of experience, is alhamdulillah very, very appropriate for the business.
I think he's got some comments to make.
Please.
Well, wow. His words are way too colorful. Yeah, way too colorful. As I requested Shapur Bhai to be here as my support system, I must say that he, after my chacha, who trained me, has had the most influence in the way I work, the way I think, operational, dealing with people, how one needs to, even down to negotiation. Because I mean, I went with him for so many different things, and everything was a learning experience. So, and like he said, there are many times, you know, he's talking to me as a father, because there are personal discussions that we've had where he has had a lot of input, insight, because when somebody has been there that long and you've had that kind of connect, they become your family members. They may not be blood family members, but they're as good as family members. And you know, he has this amazing ability to understand you, give you the advice that is relevant to you. Could be the same problem with my brother, but that would be different. And he can keep it completely separate. Like, you know, no conversation goes out of the four doors. So, no, but it's not just that. One of the most important things I learned from him, I remember the first things he taught me was write your own reports, right? Because as you grow, nobody can take you for a ride. And that's the most important thing.
That is a pregnant and very successful note, I must say.
Madam, I would like to interject here. You see, he has mentioned it so coolly and very smoothly that, you know, he started the operation, but it was not like that. Since 17, he has been having a tough time. It's like a rolling stone, up and down. But the most important thing, he accepted that challenge. And that speaks volume. And he is delivering. And inshallah, he will deliver more in the future. That's the quality which comes from a leader.
We look forward to that. Thank you so much once again for joining us today. It was a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, Mr. Abdullah.
Thank you.
Time for a short break. We'll be back soon. Welcome back after the break. This is Icons of the UAE and we are in conversation with Mr. Abdullah Ajmal. Now, Ajmal Perfumes is a household name. Tell us, how do we understand perfumes? How do we identify notes?
Well, to be honest, I mean, there are two ways of looking at it. One is, if you like something, there is a smell in the air, you like it. That's as simple as that. You know, putting it simplistically, because you walk into a garden, for example, there is a nice bouquet of flowers or lots of flowers in a wedding. You get a natural feel and a natural smell. The word is pleasant. So as far as you feel pleasant, that's good. Now, you want to get into more details about it, then of course, it takes years of experience of how to recognize it. But nowadays, marketeers have made it very easy. They give you the paraphernalia with it. You can read up about it online. Top note, heart note, base note, what are the things? And then over a period of time, you will be able to sort of identify your taste. So you can say, I like floral fragrances, I don't like fruity fragrances. I like musky fragrances, but I don't like woody fragrances. So, and then you will further identify, it all happens over a period of time, and it's extremely cognitive. You know, you don't realize it, that it's happening, but it happens over a period of time.
I think we've spoken enough about business. Now let's get to know you personally. What do you do to unwind, to chill?
I don't.
You don't?
I mean, unwinding, friends, spending time with friends, watching content, movies, shows, etc. I really, really enjoy. I mean, in fact, I was flying last night from Kuwait and I was watching a show on my iPad. So that is one of the things that really, really takes me away from everything. Of course, goes without saying, spending time with my family, going on good holidays. I don't take long holidays. I don't go. We go to very specific places, you know. My daughter likes to call them exotic paradises.
Nice. Okay, what do you do to ensure a healthy lifestyle? Because you look very, very fit, mashallah.
Oh, please. You're just being too kind. I do not look fit at all. In fact, actually, I was better. Last few months have been very hectic. I've not been able to keep up with my fitness regimen. Typically, what I would do is 3 days I would do gym and 3 days yoga. I find there is a very good balance in that. And yoga in the past has helped me a lot with my balance and tightness, etc. You know, it is really, really good. So that is on the fitness part that I do.
Now we're going to get into a rapid fire, and I'm going to ask you a series of questions, which we need a one
Do I
word.
get a hamper?
You can give me an Ajmal perfume hamper.
Okay, fair enough.
First question, what do you miss the most about Bombay, as you said?
The energy. You know, people in Bombay, you travel for God knows how long, you know, you commute, the weather is not the most pleasant, working conditions, tight elevators, and yet people get so much more done. So I really miss that, and I miss the innovation, you know, people think out of the box over there.
What is your favorite travel destination?
So there is two of them actually. They're very similar in some ways, Bali and Maldives.
Okay. Your comfort food, go-to comfort food.
My go-to comfort food. So if I have traveled anything more than 5 days, this is the dish I have to come back to. So it's rice, as rice is our staple food. And there is a typical type of a bhuna we make of chicken. So that's my comfort food.
I have to ask you this, which is your favorite perfume?
The next Ajmal fragrance.
Oh, nice.
I always wear only fragrances that are being tried and tested. So I'm my own guinea pig.
And lastly, vada pav or shawarma?
Oh, vada pav. Any day.
Vada pav in Dubai or Mumbai?
No, no, no. Not even Mumbai. It's on the way. There is a place on the way to Pune which does amazing vada pav.
And finally, I'd like to ask you any advice you'd like to give to the youngsters who are getting into a family business.
Always strive harder than an ordinary employee. Think what somebody would do if they're an employee in the same position and try and do 10% more. Because that is the only thing that will get you to really not only understand the work, but gain the respect of your peers who already are thinking that "Are aa gaya bade baap ka beta" and all that. So this will take care of that. That will bring the respect over a period of time.
You've been here for so many years. What is UAE to you?
So now it's like 35 odd years been here. It is home. So the question I'll answer in two fronts. Personal, it is home. It is where I see myself living for years in front of me. Unless for any other reason I need to move, I really don't see myself going anywhere else. It's an amazing place, be it for safety, be it for entertainment, be it for quality of education for my child, and everything else. And on the other side, of course, is the business side. If I always mirror the growth of Ajmal with the growth of Dubai, right? We have grown the way Dubai has grown. Dubai has been our beacon, and in Hindi, Margadarshan, you know, to really see where we want to go. I remember one time, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid's interview, and the interviewer asked him, why are you in such a rush to grow your city?
Yeah.
And he said, why not? And that's exactly why I say it as well, that if I want to grow the business and make it global, in 72 years, I say I want to do that in the next 7 years. Question is, why not?
Fantastic. It was a pleasure to talk to you today. Thank you so much
Pleasure's
for
all
joining.
mine. Thank you very much.
And thank you to you too for joining us today on Icons of the UAE. And this episode was made fragrant with Mr. Abdullah's presence. Don't forget to join us next time as we continue to inspire you on Icons of the UAE. This is me, Shruti, signing off. You stay inspired, stay iconic.
Hi, I'm Asad Ajmal. I'm Abdullah Ajmal's younger brother. He sincerely apologizes for missing this evening. The audience, the host, the jury, thank you very much, and he sends his thanks. Thank you, everybody.